Hey there, welcome to the channel. Today we're diving deep into health and safety in the workplace, specifically in industrial settings. We're talking about protecting ourselves and our coworkers from harm, and that's about as real as it gets. So, whether you're a seasoned veteran of the factory floor or just starting out, stick around because we're about to unpack the top 10 things you need to know to stay safe and sound on the job. First things first, we gotta talk about the rules. Organizations like OSHA and international standards like ISO 45001 set the ground rules for everything from safety goggles to machine maintenance. These regulations aren't just bureaucratic red tape, they're born out of hard-won lessons. Think of them as a collective effort to learn from the past and prevent future accidents.
Now let's talk about the hazards themselves. We've got physical hazards like slippery surfaces or heavy machinery, chemical hazards like fumes or dust, and biological hazards like mold or bacteria. And we can't forget about ergonomic hazards, those sneaky little things like repetitive motions or awkward postures that can lead to injuries over time. So, we've got our rules, we know our enemies, now it's time to gear up. This is where personal protective equipment, or PPE, comes in. We're talking helmets, gloves, steel-toed boots, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But here's the catch. PPE only works if you use it correctly and consistently.
Okay, so now we're getting into the strategic part of workplace safety accident prevention. This is about taking a proactive approach to identify potential hazards and eliminate them before they can cause any harm. It's all about creating a culture of safety where everyone is involved in identifying and mitigating hazards.
Now, even with the best safety measures in place, accidents can still happen. We're talking about slips, trips, and falls, which are more common than you might think. Then there's being struck by objects, caught in machinery, and overexertion injuries. That's why it's so important to understand the most common types of injuries and how to prevent them.
Okay, so we've talked about preventing accidents, but what happens when something does go wrong? That's where reporting and record keeping come in. Reporting accidents, near misses, and even those almost had it. Moments helps us identify trends and prevent them from happening again. Plus, accurate records are essential for legal compliance and insurance purposes.
Now, so far we've mostly focused on physical safety, but let's not forget about the often overlooked aspect of workplace safety, mental health. We're talking about stress, burnout, anxiety, depression, all those things that can creep up on you, especially in demanding work environments. A stressed out worker is more likely to make mistakes, which can lead to accidents.
Now let's talk about the what-if scenarios. Emergency preparedness is all about having a plan and knowing what to do when the unexpected happens. This includes things like knowing the evacuation routes, understanding alarm signals, and being familiar with fire extinguishers and first aid kits. The more you practice, the better prepared you'll be to react calmly and effectively in a real emergency.
And finally, let's talk about the bigger picture, the environmental impact of industrial activities. What we do inside those factory walls can have a ripple effect on the environment and communities around us. This means following proper waste disposal procedures, minimizing emissions, and using environmentally friendly products whenever possible.
So, there you have it, our whirlwind tour of health and safety in the workplace. But the most important takeaway is this. Safety isn't just a set of rules or a box to be checked, it's a mindset, a culture that we all need to embrace. Remember, safety in the workplace is everyone's responsibility. Stay safe and see you next time.